Terraform. Here we are in round number 2 of the ASL Bacon Weekly number 6. And representing Team Extreme, well, I meant to say representing himself, it is gonna be the Purple Zerg player, Gamja.
According to Wikipedia, it's Team Leafing, or whatever the tournament's. I'm not sure with Gamja, but his opponent in the top left-hand corner from South Korea on Team Extreme Supremacy. The Red Terran looking unstoppable. It is Top. If we go by Wikipedia, it says he's part of Team Leifing. I can't tell if it's Chinese or German. Okay, Chinese.
Yeah, as of the 19th. So if that is actually something, then that's something new to me. I actually didn't know that they had a team. But yo, actually, if you look here,
as in China?
No.
They
the Li Feng, because they have the Li Feng Cup.
Team.
You know Li Feng Cup, right? Like
it's funny because I swear that was German. I always thought that was German. Oh my word. Oh my word, it makes so much sense now.
SC boy.
It makes so much sense.
It was a league in order to foster some talent in the Chinese community, really, because they wanted the Koreans to play with them in order to make them better. So they made this cup that invited certain Koreans and whatnot. And that was really the whole point of the tournament. Just a specific purpose, like just to get Chinese players to, like, you know, have a bit more competition with the Koreans.
Definitely. And that's great they're taking that initiative, really saying, you know what, we're just as good as everyone else. And they've proved that in tournaments, and they're really starting to get themselves out there. And that's great that even tournament organizers are realizing the same thing, like, let's do this. And by the way, guys, just to comment on this game, because obviously you don't comment on the game for the first 2 minutes instead of like 10 in Heart of the Swarm, but Top is doing the thing he's done in every other game, so it looks like he will be going for that push. And I'm still waiting for a deviation from Gamja, whether he's going to take a quick third or maybe get like a Roach Evo chamber wall. Generally, I'd say you want, I don't know, like, what do you think?
Yeah,
I feel like versus Top, I'd go Roach Evo chamber, get a nice wall up here, and just defend with Ravagers.
Yeah, he was continuing to mine the gas, so it did look like he was going to go for like a 2-base muta because not that early third, and yeah, he never pulled out a gas, by the way. After he got the speed enough for it, he was just continuing to mine it. But is it going to be out in time for this kind of push, right? Like, this one hits before the Liberator. It's not like he waits for the Hellbat Liberator combo. This is the one that we saw against Yogo, pretty much. Like, what is it gonna be with no spine crawler yet? I'm a little bit worried. Oh,
this is almost exactly what we saw in game 1. As in, I mean, Top, he is going for those Marines, but the Baneling Nest is so delayed from Gamja. He's not even throwing down a Baneling Nest. He's going Roach
dropped down a Roach Warren instead. Yeah. So I mean, this can actually work pretty well too. So he is gonna be able to pump out a few roaches if he needs to spot it coming though. Like, if he doesn't see it coming.
Takes down the rocks in the middle of the field, though. He will have a little bit time bought for himself. And this Overlord should see the first 2 Hellions, maybe? Yeah, it should see those Hellions. But that's pretty common for Terran to do with the little Hellion scout here. So I don't know if that Overlord's really going to be able to glean as much information as it would like to off this. But oh, no, Gamja sees it with the second Overlord, does see 2 Hellions moving across the map.
What a good Overlord position by Gamja. Oh, but is the Overseer morphing gonna actually not see them coming? So he does miss that out, because when it is morphing, it does have less vision. So he needs to be a little bit aware here, because, yeah, he knows what's up, at least. He knows some aggression is on the way, and he's getting some roaches out.
Liberator is on the way for Top, but it's not quite going to be ready for this attack. But this attack will be hitting in hard. 7 Marines with 4 Hellbats here. And the Roaches, the Queens, they have a beautiful surround, but will there be enough? Not quite. Oh, actually just focusing down the medevac, not allowing any kind of counterattacks into the main quick pickups. But for now, the Roaches being focused down. Marines providing a little bit of extra DPS to complement those Hellbats here. Looks like it's going to be completely pushed back and just kind of rebuked here.
Yeah, dude, there is a Nidus worm on the way, and it was scanned immediately by Top. After he saw the roaches coming out, he said, wait a minute, why do you have roaches right now, and what are you planning to do, my friend? And it is going to be that Nidus
Overlord.
worm.
Oh, I mean, there's no really great Overlord position other than this Overseer. Well, there's the Nidus worm going down. It is invulnerable. The Queens are going to have to hightail it into that Nidus network if they want to do this correctly. We'll see. SCVs trying to get a scout so the Queens can't get out. They're trying to surround it.
They're trying. The Liberator is in position.
Transfuse! Oh,
Yep.
transfuse!
Another one.
Transfuses!
And here come the roaches and the queens. Gonna be able to
I can't
get
find a top of the Liberator! Get out of the Liberator! Get out of the
please get out
Liberator!
of the Liberator.
Oh,
And he is gonna get on out of there. This is insane. So many of the SCVs are gonna be going down, and you know what? Who needs a Nidus Worm when you can just walk on across as well? Here come the roaches. Another Nidus Worm is in production. Oh, Drenok, his economic damage gonna be too much here.
I mean, it could be enough. This Liberator is just barely defending right here, but that's all there is. And now that the Queen is out, the Queen instantly gets thrown down. Another transfuse with Ravagers being morphed in, and I'd actually say for Gamja not to morph in any more Ravagers. He does have about 12 Roaches, which have finally kind of made this push work, but they're just annihilating these SCVs. And just to note, at the natural, there's nothing. There's some SCVs, there's no Marines, there's no whatever.
Baby.
27 workers going down, and there's only those 2 mules. What is that? 280 income a minute, about 300 minerals.
And that's if they don't get disrupted at all, right? So without any production, that's going to be a little bit difficult. But hey, Top might be able to clean this up eventually. But if Gamja is well aware, he should never lose any of these roaches here, at least to the Liberators.
I don't think these Nidus networks should keep going, even only because I don't think Gamja can afford to keep getting queens. It's a little bit of a hairy thing. Maybe he can, but for now he's just gonna not even care. He's just gonna hang out.
Oh, Gamja's just going for the kill. He's waiting for that cheese tank to pop out and goes on in right on it. Down it goes, maybe. Here comes a lot of repair, but no, it is not going to be enough. Liberator, you have a lot of work to do, and it
GG or wah 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 from Gamja.
Wah wah. Wah wah.
Welcome to Orbital Shipyard. Here we are in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Zerg player currently 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is Gamja representing the Fing.
Indeed, and I wanted to note here, our good buddy Arthur is also on that Li Feng as well, and so is Miso. Miso used to be on Slayers, I believe. So, way back. And I can't remember what he joined after. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the top of the map, while representing himself as well as Team Extreme Supremacy. It is Top. Hey, go figure.
Go figure. Like, play 2 games in a row, man. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, guy?
Every game that we've casted today, he has spawned in the top position in some way, shape, or form.
And I was telling Tempo a little bit about this just a couple of seconds ago, guys, but there needs to be a search engine that automatically just inserts SC2 in front of what you search, because I looked up Arthur in Google, totally expecting Wikipedia to come up and like click on Arthur, and then nothing else came up, and there just needs to be a search engine that just adds SC2 in the beginning of everything you write, just because it's, so you can be, like, it even just links to Google. It's like, let me Google that for you, but it adds SC2 into the beginning.
It just does it, right? Like, almost like an autocomplete, but just do it after everything, you know?
Did you mean Arthur StarCraft?
It's like, yes, thank you. Thank you, Siri. Appreciate it.
that would be great. You need a little mod that's like you know, it's like addicted to StarCraft or addicted to Magic the Gathering. It just adds that into like the back.
Like everything. I think in the future, man, we'll have it. We'll make it. If not,
first Reaper fast expand we've seen from Top.
Yeah, you're right. He's a little bit nervous now. He's like, wow, this guy, okay, you're gonna do some of this, so I gotta make sure that I know what you're doing, man. And, you know, the cool part about that opener that Gamja did last time is that he could go into 2-base Muta if he wanted to, but he decided to go into the Roach Nidus, and it is an extremely powerful play against Terran at the moment. You can't kill that Nidus Worm, and if you don't kill it, you just lose too damn much. Like, you know, like, if you don't have tank drops, at least, or siege tanks in general, you're just not going to defend it really or efficiently. So,
definitely, Gamja doing a really cool build right here, and he's still mining gas, as you mentioned, Tempo, in game 1, that kind of can do some cool stuff with that, and getting layer in the back in his kind of natural base, so Top does not scout it. But I just love the diversity of the builds we're seeing more and more, and even though it's a little bit because it's the beta, it's also just purely because there are more options. Nidus Network, it works now, so you just have to have a bigger checklist. Okay, he's maybe going Muta, maybe he's going Nidus, and this time we do see Banelings out of Gamja. Maybe Gamja's actually getting a little nervous here, Tempo.
Yeah, I wonder if he is, or, you know, Top did open up with that Hellbat opener last time, so it's like, well, I guess the other build worked out, but there's another way to deal with Hellbats, and that, of course, is the Baneling. So he is going to go into Lair once again, but he didn't add the gases, so I was wondering what he would do. He took the one in the natural. And is he going to take the third one or what? I'm not exactly sure here. So I guess we'll give it a little bit of time, but it looks like for top, he is expanding off of this right now, as he does go for a Liberator first, as opposed to that Medevac and Hellion. So just Hellions, Marines, and Liberator.
This Hellion push will be a little bit more delayed than normal, or at least have less because of that reactor gas going into the Reaper. So not quite as strong as a Hellion push we've normally seen, almost 5 or 6 at this point, but for now, Queens are going to be enough. And yeah, I don't think with that putting into a Reaper instead of a reactor earlier on, these Hellions will be delayed and kind of have to meander on back home. But still, man, the Liberators, I don't care if you know the Liberator's coming. It's hard without just 2 spores. The only thing that's 100% like, just screw you, Liberator, get off my back, is throwing 2 spores at each base. But that's just way too much econ for these players.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you go and delay your third base, the economy there, your Terran opponent is going to be mining off of 2 bases with mules, and then if you have to really use those drones to make spore crawlers, it gets a little annoying, but luckily for Gamja, he is going to go for 2 base Muta, and he is going to get, he should be able to catch the Liberators, right? I think like 6 Mutas should be able to take out even 2 Liberators, but it's when they start to get to that high number that it's just so hard to deal with them, and that could probably say, hey, I'm not going to make any Mutas anymore, you know, just to deal with this right now and then do what I want to do this game.
Ooh,
I think that's what Gamja's thinking
Hellions
right now. Uh-oh.
6 Hellions currently out, and by the way, there's no, is there one around here? No, there is not. There is nothing for the Hellbats here, so they would just be Hellions, and I guess that works. What is he sacrificing it for, though? Maybe quicker Liberators, do you think? A little bit of gas instead of going for an armory?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I think he's more focused on the infrastructure, because like now he's getting it, but the only reason why he delayed it so much, I would assume, is I think he's adding the factories and the reactors and everything first here. Getting that third base up, we saw him not get it last time that early. So he's focusing more on his economy, and instead of a timing, maybe, or at least a timing that is really early, it's more of a macro build to get his economy rolling. You get all of that production out, and then keep on scaling.
Those mutas get wrecked.
Yep, a much more defensive position out of top this time around. So he has the factories, the armory is going to be done soon. I wonder, he should add another one too if he is going to be going for the full mech. But he probably can't afford it yet until he decides to go for the gas at the third. Or feels
Definitely
like he can't
needs
afford
this
it.
third base econ to be up and unharassed, but Gamja in his head is knowing, you know what, if I just keep putting pressure on, keep being annoying, maybe I can do something. The Lings actually are going to make their way into the main. Focus down. The Siege tank really believes hard and will be able to clean up most of this, but I mean, Gamja is just trying to annoy his opponent into submission.
Yeah, I mean, I think top is perfectly fine at this moment. I love his positioning here with the tank. Going to be able to deal with these run-bys quite easily. And I think Gamja's sitting like, come on, come attack me. You know, like, what's up, bro? I thought you were going to be all in my face, but he has to recognize that, and he has already, as he does go for that 4th base. It looks like he's setting it up, and the creep spread is looking decent for now. It is going to be exploding very soon. And he recognizes the mech as he does get the +1 upgrades here for the ranged as well as the carapace. And now we are going to go into our first, I would say, macro game of the day.
I love how you said that with like you were like actually excited. I don't know if you guys could hear that on stream, but there's excitement in Timbo's voice right there.
Because like
all the Liberators looking for an attack. I feel like Liberators, if it's 1v1, Liberators definitely take this, just decimating, take out all the mutas but one, and now there's Ravagers, there's Roaches, and desperately Ravagers are trying to morph in, but this base is just gone.
Wow.
Thankfully, Liberators can't kill hatches, otherwise we'd all be dead.
Yes, but a really out of the blue attack from top just comes over and says, hey, knock knock, and he goes over, forces the drones to evacuate.
Oh, the Overlords!
Jeez, they're all gonna die right now. This is insane now. It's gonna probably supply block Gamja if he gets the last of these 3. Oh, and down goes 2 of them. Another one is gonna go down, and now the supply block is real, and the drones are gonna go back to the 3rd. But guess what, Drenok? They ain't gonna be mining for long.
The Ravagers! Oh, the Ravagers are getting cut out of position! The Ravagers are right in the middle of the Liberation zones. Thankfully, the Liberators were going for some drones here. but this has been well worthwhile. Not only getting rid of Mutos, which costs 100 gas per pop, but 9 workers, some queens, a decent amount of roaches, and that's actually forced corruptors out of Gamja, which is not really where he wants to go, especially when top is like, yeah, JK, I'm gonna go 20 Hellions.
Oh yeah, I think the fact that he's going for the Corruptors really shows the fear here, because he's not even on Hive just yet. He can't go into Broodlords or something to deal with the ground army, and I mean, I think the damage of the Liberators has already been done. Like, big deal, you know, like if you got Corruptors to deal with them. I mean, he's barely even really worried about that. It's more so about this ground army, right? Oh my goodness. It's a lot of Hellions, Drenok. I think
there's a lot of Hellions
in
the pen. Yeah. What I was gonna say is the roaches like you're like, hey, we don't got this. We don't got this.
Nope.
Retreat. Full on retreat back home. Thankfully, they will retreat back onto the lovely spores. Sorry, not spores. I meant creep tuners right there when I said spores, but they will retreat onto a nice position, finally taking the 4th base. And even though Gamja, maybe he's getting into a more comfortable macro game, I'm still worried because top is expanding just as much as Gamja is. Top is on the same roughly income. It's actually 68 drones to 70 SCVs plus mules of top, and top has beautiful macro. He's not losing anything here, and when you have this many Hellions, roaches just don't really matter, but we'll see what happens. Huge battle going down. Liberators are not quite in the right position, neither are the siege tanks, but there is a lot of Hellbats and a lot of Hellions.
There are so many Hellbats now getting morphed in, and I love how he kept some of them into the Hellions so he could chase if he wanted to. But here come the Liberators here to try to take out those Corruptors, and as soon as they take them out, they should be able to get some good sieging up. But here, I don't know, is he being too impatient? This is not even a base that he's trying to defend. I think he's just trying to set up a push because he's going to be maxing out soon.
Tunneling Claws is done for Gamja if he wants to make a strategic move right there. There it is right there. You're going to move in, try to kill some stuff. There's no Ravens. Top goes to the scam, but it's not going to be in the right position. Oh man, the rest of the army of Gamja is not going to be in the right position to actually capitalize off its kind of flank, but maybe it will be. Roaches will get rid of 1, 2 siege tanks, but now they're going to be a little bit indecisive moving into the siege tanks, the top north position. They will try to go to another area, but we see 16 more roaches coming out. Gamja is looking weak, and top is looking to take game 2 to even up 1-1. Can he do it, Tempo?
Indeed, this is going to be the case. I mean, there is just way too much coming out of top at the moment. He is just pushing on, going for the win. He's done massive amounts of economic damage, and now he just wants to kill the army of Gamja in order to secure himself another game. He did lose game number 1, so he is pissed off, trying to make it back here after having such a dominant performance in his last series.
I love that you're saying he's pissed off, and that truly is what StarCraft players happens. It's like, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to go Mass Hellbat because Mass Hellion Hellbat, yes, it took a lot of damage, but realistically, that just provides you with like a bajillion gas to use on whatever you want. Like, truly, it's a bajillion. It's quite truly a number here. No Ravens, though, no nothing, and these roaches are looking for a kill. Maybe top is overextended a little bit too much.
Yeah, this is a great position here. He's just trading it out. Gamja is getting one of the best engagements he could ever ask for. Remember, a lot of this army is basically in Hellions, and roaches do pretty damn well against them, so if they try to morph right on top of them, I mean, geez, I don't think that's going to really be successful for you, but he has to kill these
Especially 2-2 roaches.
Oh, goodness, you're right. Hellions. Can he get rid of these Liberators, though, is the question. I mean, he needs, I think, three Ravagers, rather, but here he's going in to try to take out the siege tanks as best as he can. Oh, the armies are so close together, actually, but GG feels like he can't do it. GG.
1-1.
Bring us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ruins of Saras. It is gonna be game number 3 between these two players, spawning in the bottom left. Representing Team Extreme Supremacy, it is Top.
And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruins of Saras from South Korea, representing Team Li Feng, it is Gamja. Smoking the doobies. Smoking the doobies. That's game 1. Game 1, he had a doobie. Game 2, he did not have the doobie. That is all the difference that it makes.
He dropped it, and he was trying to find it under his desk or something, maybe.
That's like the entire time he was only playing like with his left hand on the keyboard. That's like actually what was going down.
And by the doobie, you meant the double Evo chamber. It's what we call them, by the way, guys. So
yeah, we did.
I wonder what kind of style he'll go for, right? Like, it was cool. He knows that Top likes mech now, right? And His first build worked incredibly well, caught top off guard, and he also caught top doing a very aggressive opener that he held perfectly. So he had no units at home to actually deal. It's a little different in game 2, man. If he tried that Nidus play, I think top might have had enough to at least hold and not be in a bad position.
Ruins of Ceres has got some interesting Zerg strategies that can happen. Obviously, that quick scout of the top right-hand base for Gamja says, okay, you're not there. But if we did see top there, that scout does happen about a minute 30, and you can get some lings in there once that scout is done. Maybe with like a overlord, sorry, not overlord. You can do transportation, drop overlords, which I don't even know what they're called, ventral sacks technically. But
yeah, true.
You can do some. I don't think they have a name for the overlord. I think it's still just an overlord.
It's just called an overlord, right? Wow. Well, that's a
lot of cool things you can happen. And as we mentioned, the Doobie, the double Evo chamber tempo, that is something I've seen No Regret do a lot, getting 1/1 mass ling and then just transporting up. They actually, does do overlords have a name when they change? I guess just whatever he does, he lifts into the main, whatever you want to call it, whatever overlord. It's not an overseer, it's not an overlord, it's a
So, like, because I don't think they do, because I don't think that the other team, or at least the other player, knows that it even can drop. Like, there's no way to tell if an overload can drop or not, right? So, I think maybe, like, some kind of name or a little icon or something, at least to know. It would be nice, maybe, for the other races,
Lord.
but... The Doobie Lord. You do need an Evo chamber for it. So,
what is that, a 1E Lord, I guess? If we're truly going with...
yeah. I don't know. Ubi Lord.
Nether Reaper opening from top. Now, I like this, but maybe it's more okay. In game 1, his Hellion Hellbat was just kind of completely just rebuked, like, just shut up, screw you, get out of my face by Gamja here. And I'm wondering with this Reaper, definitely he's scared here, but with the Hellion pushes, I'd like to see him try it again, but with this first Reaper, it does delay the first kind of Hellion pushes to kind of completely negate them. I'd rather see a quick third out of top and go into that next style.
Yeah, the important part is that he saw that there was not a lair. So he sees the roaches maybe. I think they may have been hidden, but the thing here is this is different than before. It's not going to be just like the other build. It's actually going to be perhaps a bit more aggressive. I think he's just going to go for some Ravager poke while he gets his own third up. Because I don't think he's going all in here. But, I mean, the amount of drones at the natural does worry me a bit. So maybe he is. I don't know.
Currently, as Tempo was mentioning, there was only 10 drones at that natural base, and the Roach Ravager is looking supreme right here. That first Roach, I'd love to see micro backed and not just die, but, you know, death is a consequence of playing StarCraft 2 here. Bunker goes down, Siege Tank is up, but another bunker for top. He is 150% prepared for this attack, and maybe we'll see top kind of pushed back a little bit here, but he's pretty much just negated this early damage, and thankfully Gamja took a third off the back of this. But still, as you mentioned, Tempo, he's only got 11 in his main, 11 in his natural. It's 30 drones to 31 SCVs. That changes right as I say that. Caster curse.
Yeah,
but,
it's very important here that he did take that third, right? If he had put everything into that, I don't know if he would have had a great success. Maybe if he went fully all in with link speed and really got a great surround on the tank, and I don't know, right? It's one of those things that Gamja is not willing to put on the line right now. He does want to kind of go onto the back foot of his macro. It didn't work out as well for him last game, but hey, if you can bring it back and not get caught by like 4 Liberators killing all of your freaking mutas, I think you're going to be in a much better position. I mean, I'm just saying.
Definitely, and not only just the gas lost from the mutas, but the harassment potential, the scouting, there's so many things you can do with that. So this game, I'm just saying, you know what, not quite going to go into the muta, going to go Roach, and that's got to scare top here because as we saw, the Nidus network is strong. Top does have 3 siege tanks, but looks like top maybe not taking a third base. What's he got? He's got a CC in his main just about to finish, so looking to take a third base. This Liberator is having a good time, but top moving out, and this is the position where Ravagers are good versus the Medevac Siege Tank. We'll see if they can be good, though, because Gamja has his army split up so much. He's so prepared for a drop, but his natural base is not prepared.
I know. He is not. I mean, top...
Everything else, the main and the third, just not that natural.
Wait, I mean, luckily he has some really good creep spread, though, so we can see it here. And now we have a little bit of a siege up here on the edge of the creep. And with the Siege Tank drops, he's going to be able to pick away at those Ravagers if he does target them down. Gamja
Five
doesn't want to
Ravagers
switch to
will
the
be
twin
able.
here.
5 Ravagers will be able to annoy these Liberators, but it's still such a phenomenal position for top right here. It's so hard to move in for Gamja, but maybe it makes maybe it makes something happen. Yep, not quite.
Whew. This is a really tense position here for Gamja because what top is doing is slowly choking Gamja out, forcing a position where every time he tries to reinforce at his third and take this engagement, yeah, he is going to take damage from not only the Liberator, but 2 tanks as well.
I guess in theory, you just go for a full 360 surround once you get a nice, just max amount of Roach Ravager. You just kind of throw everything at your opponent. Oh, the Roaches, homies, get out of there. Okay,
yeah, you see, like, this is really difficult here. But he's just going to go in at the right time. And this is, the time is now. He's going to go and shoot those Corrosive Biles on the Ravager. Oh, no, he tried to shoot down the Liberator, but wow, just no contest. Oh, that's Spore, actually.
Oh, man, Liberator. Oh, Liberator. Oh, it believes.
So close. Indeed.
Same time a Liberator is going to go for the natural, by the way, of Gamja. He's got to be worried, but now Gamja, third base is up for top, but there's only 1 siege tank. There's nothing here.
Yeah, to get those tanks on home. This third could get forced to lift up, and that would be a really big win here for Gamja, you know? If he were able to at least lift that command center up, that would be nice. That Liberator is so low, Drenok. I mean, I think even whiffing a Corrosive Bile right next to it would kill it at this point.
Definitely only 15 health left, so if a whiffed Corrosive Bile probably could kill that. Not sure what the AoE damage is specifically, but now looks like Gamja's going to push up the ramp, and this may be the optimal time. Siege Tank's caught slightly out of position right there, but just cannot move into this bio, actually. Gamja, he's got to be so careful. He needs to pull back. Yes, he's denied the third base, but just take the win, say, okay, I denied the third base. Don't keep pushing here. There's too much bio at the top of that ramp with the Siege Tanks, and Gamja is actually going to bring his Queens along, and he doesn't actually have Queens to inject at home.
Oh, yeah, he has to remake them right now. Is he really going to put it all into this push at this moment? He's not making any more drones. I don't know if that Liberator took out all of the drones here, because there are no drones mining at the natural, by the way. 0. Only the ones on the gas.
So far, we saw 13 workers go down on Gamja's side, so we'll see how that actually happens. But now the Queens are here, but the Queens kind of coming up in the back are not quite here yet to transfer. For now, though, Siege Tanks are going to rain shelling on Gamja, just pushing him back. Thankfully for top, he did get rid of that early creep spread, so it's not like the Queens just kind of like run on over, get a good jog in, but this third base, I feel like right now all Gamja wants to do is deny the third, but he's kind of gone all in here to tempo. I think this
he really is,
He's
right?
to make something happen.
He does. All of the Roaches getting caught behind the Ravagers, but he's going up for the Siege Tanks. Gonna get one of them down here, but the Queens are getting massacred on the other side. Oh, tried to do a hot pickup there, top did. But here, Gamja is trying to push here with only +1, +0, while top actually doesn't have any upgrades.
Just annihilating everything. The Siege Tanks shelling everything, and Gamja's waited too long with the Bio-Mech Fusion. We're seeing more and more with these medevacs and so many Marauders. There was like 10 to 15 Marauders in the composition earlier on. The entire army of Gamja is reduced to almost 0. Come on, I want to say 0. Not quite 0.
It is not gonna be enough. Marauders doing way too much. Triple Mule getting dropped. And now, what does Gamja go home to? He's gonna go home to really no drones mining at his natural. Does have to transfer a few from that main, but his follow-up, that's what I'm worried about. He's only on Roach Tech, hasn't taken the gases at his third, and he doesn't even have upgrades or anything. He has nothing really to fall back on. So, yeah, that was it, man. He was trying his best, and he's gonna have to pull a miracle out here.
43 drones, now 48 to 57 SCVs. Top has the worker lead. Not only that, but this time with this attack, he's got Marauders mixed in. It's even more potent than the first attack, and without that full surround, I don't think Gamja can make it. I'll remind you guys, it is currently 1-1, and Top is looking to move on to the semifinals. Actually, no, to the, I think the quarterfinals here.
Yep. It should be, yeah, but I mean...
GG or the Wawa. Top takes game 3, going 2-1. We'll move on and
thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.